Celestine, it's always a pleasure having you in studio with us.
Sure, thank you.
Yes, now we've seen the figures hitting the 1 billion mark. That is actually very positive for the Rwanda Stock Exchange. Could you tell us, in that whole time frame, what attributed to this?
Well, what that means is that it's a good milestone for a small and young market like ourselves. What has happened, basically, it's the transacted value on the market. So between the money raised and the money traded, the value of traded transactions during this time we've been in existence. So it's a major milestone for us because that goes between the investors and companies themselves, and we see it as a good stepping stone for us going forward. So it's something very good to be happy about.
Yes, and when we look at the capital markets, they only started about 8 years ago here in the country. Now, looking forward, would you say that we'll need that exact amount of time to hit another 1 billion target, or are things going to move smoother and faster?
I mean, I think the small correction there, the capital market was launched in 2008. It's a stock exchange, actually, which was launched officially in 2011. So that would make it about 8 years now. Yeah, for operations, basically fully fledged stock exchange. So what I would say that all that has happened in the infant stages of the market. I think we will be moving more and faster. I think, looking at all the things that have been put in place, that is the soft infrastructure, and soon the hard infrastructure, which is automation and so on, and regional integration. Those are the major things that will make the market probably move faster. But also with the newest trends in the economy of Rwanda. Rwanda is growing as an economy, but also as a regional powerhouse. So with the addition of the Kigali International Financial Center being added to the menu and all the stability announcing itself across the region, we think that the integration will also play a big role in what we are going to do in future if everything goes according to plan. Because we are building on a foundation that was put in place when the market was being launched in 2008. In 2018, there was a capital market master plan for 10 years, which was developed and approved by government. So that one has looked at the few gaps we've had in the market, namely the product development, liquidity issues, and so on. So we are looking to correct some of that and put more effort even in those we have done right. So.
Yes, and we'll dive deeper on the business plan. Sure. Now, in that 8 years, we've seen today, Rwanda Stock Exchange currently has 8 listed companies. What were some of the biggest movers?
Well, I would say the IPOs. Really, if you look at it, companies that we have 4 companies which are listed from across the region, and we also have 4 companies which are listed from Rwanda. So the biggest movers normally when you list a company, it's the companies which come with an IPO. That is a company looking for fresh capital into it. So for our market, we've had the biggest movers were Bank of Kigali and Bralirwa, and we added also MTN shares, which were listed as an SPV. So that's Crystal Telecom, and the latest addition was the former BCR. It's I&M Bank Rwanda, which was added to the menu. So basically, it's those ones which are in that order, which brought in more volumes on the market. But also of recent, in the past few years, I think where the markets have a bit slowed down on equity side, there are not a lot of listings in the past few years, and also liquidity has dwindled in the equities markets across the sub-Saharan Africa because of the obvious, the economic problems we've had with the commodities prices crunch. So we've seen more money going into debt instruments, that is fixed income, government securities, and also corporate bonds. So those ones also we are seeing them picking up, and we can foresee that for the next few years also to come in our own market to be also one of the biggest drivers of the market. Yeah.
Yes, and how is the rate of growth? Maybe if you can tell us how many active accounts you have today versus last year to help us gauge where we are.
Well, okay, it's very early right now. If you talk about 2020, it's only January. But we look at our growth, annual growth for new accounts being opened, it's roughly about 15 and 20. So, and going forward, we foresee the same or even better because we are automating our market, and we are also looking to innovate and also introduce mobile applications for people to be accessing the market using their mobile phones and the products around that. So if those things are put to fruition, we think we will get more growth in people's uptick. That is the retail investors, because the institutional investors are already participating in good numbers.
We've seen also Rwanda and World Bank, they launched a 3-year $40 million bond on the London Stock Exchange. Now, considering that this is the 7th sub-Saharan African currency that the World Bank has issued, what does this signify for the Rwandan economy?
Actually, that's, again, another good milestone for the country. You see, the Rwandan economy is positioned very well right now. We've been having good growth numbers, averaging 7.6% in the past, I think, 10 years or so. And going forward, this year we've had good growth in 2019. In 2020 is even supposed to be better, according to some of the estimates being put around. So this one actually is a good milestone for our economy and the country for exposure. I think as the World Bank and another vote of confidence in the Rwanda currency and the economy at large. But this issue of World Bank being listed on London Stock Exchange, it's not the first one on being launched, on the Rwanda, backed by the Rwanda currency, linked to the Rwandan currency. It's the second one actually by the World Bank. So the first one was issued also in Europe last year or 2 years ago. I can't remember the exact year. But this year particularly is very specific to attract more investors into the Rwandan economy through that particular issuance by World Bank. They are going in turn to be investing in Rwanda's local domestic market in the bonds we are going to be listing next week.
And in the previous interview that you had here on the show with my colleague Arnold Kwizera, you touched on the fact that you're working in the pipeline. You have companies that will soon be listed. Is there any more information that you'd like to share?
Well, I think that's work in progress. There are a few companies working on their documentation to bring their issues to the market, and we have already a few applications. So that one I can tell you. So we see the year now actually starting to pick up also in the pure private sector companies which are looking to raise funding through the market. So I think the market is picking up a bit.
Is there a timeline that you can maybe give us?
Well, that would depend. I think we could see a few things happening in Q1, in the first quarter, and the second quarter, even the third quarter, we would see a few products coming to market.
And what should we expect, other than the listings, of course, to see coming out of RSE this year?
This year, actually, we have a few launches planned. We are planning to launch our next-gen market segment, which is basically for startups. Basically, it's a pipeline. It's a market segment we are launching for companies which are looking to strengthen their business to be investor ready. So we are also launching our investment clinic very soon in collaboration with the Capital Markets Authority and the Ministry of Finance. It's a project which is bringing together all the stakeholders to make sure that we hold the hands of different companies and bring them to be investor ready. So that one we're going to be launching it, also market making issues, and we are also automating officially, finally, this year. So there's a lot of things happening this year.
Okay, thank you, Celestine. We are keen to follow up on what will be happening on the Rwanda Stock Exchange.
Sure.